A former lieutenant at the Southern Regional Jail in Beaver, West Virginia, was sentenced for his role in covering up an assault. Chad Lester was sentenced for his role in covering up an assault by correctional officers that resulted in the death of inmate Quantez Burks in March 2022. Lester was sentenced to 17 years and 6 months in prison, to be followed by 3 years of supervised release. The evidence showed that he provided false information relating to the assault of Burks during a voluntary interview with FBI agents. 7 correctional officers pleaded guilty in connection with the assault. Several of those former officers testified against Lester during the trial. Still ahead, Memorial Health